Hi everyone, Cornell here with Home and Hosting. Today we're talking with Jennifer Zumbiel from Togather Moments. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi Cornell, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that we were able to do this.
I know, it's so fun. I was excited for you to reach out. I know that you connected as a customer last year, I think.
Yes, I love what you're doing. I think it's really cool, and I think the more we can do to get families together, the better.
Absolutely.
So can you share a little bit about your journey?
Yes, so my company is Togather Moments, and I have a whole business built around helping families grow closer through stronger communication. So basically it started because I have 4 children, and my oldest is 13 now, but several years ago when she was 8, I remember being at a restaurant after church one day, and we were sitting outside, and I looked around and I thought, what the heck is happening to face-to-face communication? This is out of control. I think that we could all agree that there are definite barriers and distractions in our lives with that. And I left and I said to my husband, there's got to be a better way. People aren't connecting like they should. This is really hurting the strength of families, and I don't want to be a victim to this. I'm going to do something. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. And basically what ended up happening was 2 years later, I launched my Togather products, and the first one has now become Togather Her Family Dinner. And it's a book of stickers. So they're all bound in a book, and they're all in categories, and they're conversation starters.
So this is what it looks like. And basically, well, I'll let you describe it.
Yes, okay, so there's 7 categories in here.
Okay.
And you unfold the page,
Okay.
and you peel a sticker, and you would pass it around your table. So it's a
Okay.
different category, and everybody chooses a sticker. So if we chose this one, someone at the table might peel it, and they put it on their hand, put it on their forehead, their napkin, you can put it on your cup, and you just go around. And this category happens to be called Things That Make Me Go. So the idea is, what today made you say, and this one says, that made me so happy. So then I
Very
would talk. And I used to be a high school history teacher.
Right.
And I thought, if I can get teenagers to talk, I know I can get anyone to talk. So I developed every single one. So it cannot be a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Not a one-word answer, and it leads to a whole lot more.
Very cool. So basically the idea is you take the stickers and share them around the table as a family during dinner, or whenever you're together as a family. And each person takes a turn sharing about the topic on the sticker. So like this one says, that made me so happy. Another one might say, oh, that's crazy, or different things like that.
Yes, but the real heart of this product is that it helps real families meet each other where they are, because everyone wants to get to the end of the day and think, gosh, or I should back that up and say, nobody wants to get to the end of the day and say, what happened? Why were we so busy? I don't even remember having a solid conversation or really connecting over what's meaningful. And this helps families to just take 10 minutes and feel like they really dug deep. So one of my favorite categories in there is called Warm and Fuzzy. And an example of a sticker in that one is, tell one of the children at the table how they're a good leader to other people their age, or tell the oldest person something they do that you admire in them.
Okay.
So you can see how these just prompt what every family wants to talk about in a way that's not intimidating, and it feels natural, and it keeps those moments around that table really sacred and special, instead of feeling crazy and forced and stressed.
Right. Or do you just stay distracted and don't bother talking?
Yes.
You know, that's the other option. So it's great what you're doing. Have you faced any unforeseen challenges in your journey? I'm sure you have.
Absolutely.
Any business owner has.
They have. So I actually have a business degree before I had a teaching degree.
Oh, awesome.
I went back to school to be a teacher. So my husband and I have always wanted to start a business. We didn't know what it would be. We've always had the entrepreneurial spirit, but nothing ever jumped out and grabbed us. And I mentioned my moment at the restaurant that one day. So what happened was I just felt so called to this mission of helping families in this world where I think distractions take over families so
Easily.
yeah, so easily. So anyway, I say that because with that, I didn't set out to start a business.
Okay.
It was just one thing kept going and building, and I thought, I can't say no to this. I feel like God has placed me on this path.
Yeah.
So I just went for it. So what unforeseen things happened was, well, starting a business.
Surprise, you started a business.
But really, I just knew that this was going to be something that would help families and just serve moms in such a great way. So I just went for it. And the scary part was I didn't know how to do a business. So it has been very challenging, I think, just in a broad way, is following my calling and risking doing things that I don't really feel adequate to do or comfortable, but just knowing that I need to persevere and get through. So learning everything about business.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome though. And I think you've done a great job, growing it over the years. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Thank you.
One other thing that's really cool is the date night together for couples as well.
Yes. So the whole vision was around family.
Okay.
And I launched this in May of 2018 with family dinner, and then I expanded it together for lunch,
Okay.
together for Advent, together for Easter, and then I thought, oh my gosh, the heart of the family is the couple.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mom and dad have to be strong so that they can build their family into what they want and deliver those values and teach virtue and have solid communication. So I thought, I'm going for together for date night. Let's do this. And it is actually, there's not a single thing in there that talks about marriage or children.
Okay.
There's 105 stickers, and I wrote, it's the same setup as family dinner, so there's 7 categories with 15 stickers each.
Okay.
But I wrote it so that couples who are just dating but want to get to know each other better will enjoy it, and couples that have been married for many decades. So
Okay.
even a couple married for 40 years or
Yeah.
something would really enjoy doing this. So it's the same idea. Ask
That's
a question that's super meaningful in small moments that will just dig deeper and make you feel connected, to slow down.
Totally. Yeah, because sometimes on date nights it's easy to just, go to dinner and a movie and you don't end up really talking and connecting. But then if you have these prompts, then it makes it easier
Absolutely.
to
Or
dig deep and just feel like you really connected.
yes, or how many of us will say to our spouse when we go out, let's try not to talk about the kids. Let's just focus on us. But then you think, what do I talk about?
Let's not talk about business, but that's
Let's
all
not
we
talk about business, right? Or whatever it is. So this is your opportunity. It's so unintimidating, and when you want to say the really sweet things, turn to the category called whisper sweet nothings, because
Okay.
it's questions like, tell me a moment I was proud, or here's a moment I was proud to be yours.
Okay.
Something sweet
Oh,
that
is adorable. I love that.
that you might not say, I wouldn't say, hey Matt, let me tell you about a moment I was proud to be
Right.
yours. But if the sticker asks you, it's totally different. But then
Right.
there's other ones that are like, I don't know, do you have a moment in your childhood or something that scared you? What scared you as a child? Something like that,
Right.
that creates all this conversation that leads to things even the person married 40 years might just find out for the first time.
Right. And it helps them know their spouse better.
Yes.
Or their significant
Yes. And I
Very
think
cool.
when communication breaks down in our families themselves face a real threat of breaking down. And we don't have time for surface conversation with everything that's bothering our families today.
That's so true. One thing you said earlier when we were just talking was about values-based families. So can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes. I believe that the heart of our families lies in our moms, within our homes. really knowing how to bring up our children in virtue and values and our faith, because there is too much in this world stealing our children. The TV shows, the screens, the advertisements they might just see at a store, their friends, all these different messages are coming down on them. And if we are not careful to first recognize that, second, know what we believe in and what we want for our family, and three, be committed to teaching this, I think that we're gonna wake up one day and think, I don't know that I built the family I had dreamed of or desired, or the one that I think God wanted me to build for us.
Yeah.
So I think this is a catalyst for just reminding you to keep staying focused on that, because I know I'm a very busy mom of 4 children. I mean, we are pulled in a million different directions. And if we don't stay intentional on making sure we have these conversations that lead to values, and I'm talking about even the value of laughter. It can be a very lighthearted conversation that creates just those funny moments that need to build a family as well. It doesn't all have to be warm and fuzzy and deep and all that.
Sure.
I mean, it just, we have to notice that and stay committed to it, because I think it goes faster than we all think.
That's so true. I mean, you know, my kids are 5 and 7 now, and I feel like it has just flown by. And pretty soon they're going to be teenagers. And I am very intentional, you know, talking to them about what we value as a family and who we are. But it takes a lot of mental effort.
It does, and it can be exhausting to even know what to say, or am I doing it right, or whatever.
Yes.
And my dream with this and my mission every day, I post something on social media, or I deliver something on my podcast, or whatever it is, or I'm trying to make a new product, is what can I empower moms, mostly, to bring to their family in a way that feels natural, that will really just be like a building block. So for example, you can do these games, and then when you're in carpool with your child, you've practiced this way of communication so much that those prompts just come to you, because it's just become a way of life. And so your communication just becomes strong all the time, because you've just built a habit of it.
Yeah, you've
That makes
basically
sense.
trained yourself to be mindful and to engage at a little bit deeper level.
Well said, yes.
Instead of just saying, oh, how was your day?
Yes.
Well, what happened today that made you feel excited? What happened today that made you feel uncomfortable? You know, I mean, I think as moms we do sometimes ask those things just to get to the heart of what's going on with our kids, but we should practice doing that with our friends and doing that with our family, our husbands.
Yes.
So we don't just say, hey, honey, how was your day? You know, what's up? Rather, we can say, what happened today that made an impact? You know, what really spoke to you today?
Yes, and then it just naturally goes into all those teachable lessons that you want to give to your children anyways, or your spouse, so that when you're faced with different things that come along, you know how to act, because you knew how to handle the small moments, or the small matters of that.
Yeah.
So when the big matters come, you can know what you stand for.
Yeah, absolutely. I also love the compliments that are built in, where it facilitates speaking kind and uplifting things over your loved ones. Because a lot of times we are quick to correct, or quick to judge, or quick to, you know, be bothered by someone. But we're not always quick to say how we really feel and the compliments and the good things that we see.
Yes, and I think even when we want to, it doesn't always come natural, because we might not know, like, is this an awkward segue into this? How do I tell my child I'm super proud of them without, I don't know the words? Because it's not, my love language is definitely words of affirmation, and communication is super easy for me. But I realize it's not for everybody.
Right.
And the compliment thing, I did that because I think that this whole business and ministry was launched around the family dinner table. That was because whenever I just had that on my heart, like, geez, something has to be done for face-to-face communication. I thought, okay, where do we meet families? The one place we meet them where everyone has to be is our family dinner table. It's this magical place that is just begging you, come sit. I am circle or rectangle or square for a reason, so you will all sit down and look at each other, right? So it is a place to gather. And I think that when we really take advantage of our family dinner table in the right way to be this amazing force for our family's foundation and to grow strong, then we have to have a couple things that happen around that family dinner table. And I think one of them is exactly what you're saying, complimenting, and in a broader spectrum is positive communication.
Yes.
Do not make your dinner table have anything about negative conversation like family chores or let's talk about your grades or why didn't you do this. I think that those conversations absolutely have to happen in a family, but they do not need to happen during a meal. And here's why, because I think that we all can think of our history growing up in our own families, and hopefully many of us can think of really special moments around the dinner table that built our family, laughing and something maybe one of your parents said to you or whatever that built you into who you are. But if we all agree that's what we want, then we need to make our family dinner table synonymous with all those good things.
Yes.
So that our children, when they're going through hard times and they grow up and they're teenagers or whatever they are, that they want to gather at that table because they know they're going to be filled up with so much goodness.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be beat down about their grades or anything like that.
Right. It's a safe haven for them after a long day.
That's exactly right. Yes. So that game would not exist without compliments. That was the first, the warm and fuzzy is all the compliment building section. That one was the very first category I wrote.
Yeah, that's awesome. Words are so important. I think in our society today, it has kind of gone out the window that words are extremely important, and people are often very flippant about what they say, and they don't really think about the impact that their words are having. And being mindful of that around the family dinner table is crucial. I also think that as moms, we should give ourselves permission to make rules around the dinner table. Phones do not have to be allowed. Like you said, negativity or kind of contentious discussions don't have to be allowed. We can set the tone for our families as moms, and we should take that responsibility seriously.
I love that you said all of that, and I think that if we're going to commit to exactly what you just said, then we can look at our family mealtime as so much more in the fact of, okay, if our goal is to launch our children into the world as these virtuous, wonderful adults one day who are going to make good decisions and serve where they're called, they have to have really good communication skills.
Exactly.
And you are using that time, whatever you're doing at the table, if you're playing together or you're not, just make sure you're practicing that eye contact and those listening skills and how to accept a compliment, how to give one, how to continue a conversation and ask follow-up questions. It's all this huge teachable moment, and it doesn't have to be difficult. You just have to be intentional. And like you said, one of the first steps is don't bring screens. Don't just leave it a very sacred spot in your house.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm so thankful that we were able to have this conversation today. Thank you again, Jennifer, for being here.
You're welcome.
So as she mentioned, she is doing a podcast about family. What is the name of the podcast?
It's Families That Stick Together, and it is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on my website.
Perfect. So we will have that linked for you if you want to check that out. And these different guides are also available online.
Yes, at togathermoments.com, and we have a lot of free resources as well. Togathermoments.com/free. and you can go grab all kinds of things. I have,
I heard the road trip one.
yes.
That's so cute.
There's a road trip one you can print at home, one about American values. That's the history teacher and me coming out.
I didn't know you had that.
Yes.
I love it.
It's not, it's just a conversation, like a card with a
Yeah.
bunch of prompts on it. It's not written as
Awesome.
one of my games.
Sure.
And then I have the holiday,
Advent calendar or Advent.
I have Together for Advent, yes, but I have a download for free that's it's called Together for the Holidays, and it's for family gatherings around the holidays with your
Okay.
whole family.
Oh, very cool.
So you print them off as cards and you would place them in like a little basket, and everyone can grab theirs and then walk around and talk about the prompts. So there's fun things in there like a book you read this year that changed your life, or things like that that you could easily have a good conversation with extended family.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it. So this is Jennifer Zumbiel from Togather Moments, and we are so thankful that we were able to have a great conversation with her today. Please go ahead and like and share this video if you know anyone who might be interested, and comment with your own prompt suggestion below.
Ah, maybe it'll be in a new product. I love that idea.